Imagine waking up tomorrow to a world in chaos. The news blares that World War III has begun. The weight of that thought is staggering, isn't it? How would it change our lives, our economy, the very fabric of our society? We often think of wars as distant events, confined to history books or the latest blockbuster films. But what if it were real? What if it happened tomorrow? The implications would be profound, rippling through every aspect of our lives. To understand what this might mean, let's look back at history. World War I and World War II were not just wars. They were cataclysmic events that reshaped nations, economies, and societies. The speed at which alliances formed and dissolved caught many countries off guard. One day, nations were allies. The next, they were enemies. It's a stark reminder of how fragile our global relationships can be. Today, we live in a world that's more interconnected than ever. What happens in one corner of the globe can impact us all. Conflicts that seem localized can escalate quickly, leading to consequences we might not be prepared for. Look at the current global landscape. Tensions in Ukraine are a constant reminder of how fragile peace can be. The ongoing conflict doesn't just threaten European stability, it sends shockwaves around the world. And then there's Taiwan, where rising tensions with China could spiral into something much larger. The Middle East, with its long-standing conflicts, could easily ignite broader hostilities. The reality is stark. The world is a powder keg, and it feels like we're just waiting for a spark. Now, what if World War III were to erupt? The consequences would be far-reaching and devastating. Economically, we'd likely see chaos. Global markets would crash as investors react to instability, and supply chains, already fragile from recent crises, would be further disrupted. Picture this: walking into a grocery store and seeing empty shelves, inflation skyrocketing, and everyday goods becoming unaffordable. It's a grim picture, but one we must consider. Social unrest would likely follow. People might protest against government actions or the economic hardships brought on by war. Misinformation could spread like wildfire, leading to panic and division within communities. In times of crisis, fear breeds suspicion and hostility, fracturing the very bonds that hold us together. Then there's the military aspect. Modern warfare is drastically different from what we've seen in the past. Drones, cyber warfare, and advanced technology would redefine combat. We'd be looking at high casualties and the destruction of infrastructure that could take years or even decades to rebuild. The scars of war run deep, and the psychological impact on individuals and communities can last a lifetime. So, what can we learn from this potential scenario? First and foremost, diplomacy is key. Countries must prioritize diplomatic solutions to conflicts before they spiral out of control. History has shown us that negotiation and compromise can prevent misunderstandings that lead to war. We need to foster an environment where dialogue is encouraged, where leaders are held accountable for their decisions, and where the voices of the people are heard. Community preparedness is crucial. Individuals and communities should educate themselves about global issues and engage in discussions about peace and conflict resolution. It's not enough to sit back and hope for the best. We must actively participate in shaping our future. Let's explore some hypothetical scenarios that could arise if WWII were to break out. Economic warfare is one possibility. Countries might resort to cyber attacks and sanctions, crippling economies without a single shot being fired. It's chilling to consider, but in this digital age, the battlefield extends far beyond traditional combat zones. We could also see regional conflicts escalating. A skirmish that starts in one area could quickly draw in global powers, leading to widespread war. And then there's the nuclear threat. The introduction of nuclear weapons into any conflict raises the stakes exponentially. The fear of mutually assured destruction could either deter war or lead to catastrophic consequences. The very thought of nuclear fallout is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. So, what can we do as individuals? There are steps we can take to prepare and advocate for peace. First, stay informed. Keep up with current events and understand the complexities of global issues. Knowledge is power, and being informed helps us make better decisions. Engage in discussions about these topics with friends and family. It's essential to raise awareness and foster understanding in our communities. Lastly, advocate for peace. Support organizations that focus on conflict resolution and peace building. Every small action counts. Whether it's participating in local initiatives or simply spreading awareness through social media, we all have a role to play in promoting peace. While the idea of World War III is daunting, understanding its potential impacts can help us navigate our world today. The lessons from history remind us that we must prioritize diplomacy and preparedness to prevent such a scenario from becoming reality. It's a heavy burden to bear, but it's one we must confront head-on. If you found this video insightful, please take a moment to like it and share it with your friends. Your support helps spread awareness about these important issues. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future discussions. Let's engage in meaningful conversations and take proactive steps towards a future where peace prevails. So, what do you think would happen if WWII started tomorrow? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. In a world that feels increasingly divided, dialogue is our most powerful tool.